Around the age of 70, a quiet turning of the page occurs. You stop racing against the clock and begin to listen to the rhythm of life itself. But here is the secret. Aging well is not something that appears in blood tests or on a doctor's chart. It reveals itself in 6 surprisingly simple things. Small habits, everyday abilities that quietly predict how strong, sharp, and independent you will be for the decade to come. Most people overlook them. Some lose them without even noticing. But if you are still doing even a few of these 6 things, you are not just getting older. You are aging like a quiet champion. And the twist is, these are not elite goals. You won't need a gym, a prescription, or a personal trainer. All you need is your body, your awareness, and a little willingness to notice what still works beautifully. In the moments to come, we'll walk through all 6, each one backed by science, wrapped in real-life stories, and more powerful than you might imagine. One of them may just surprise you. Stay with me until the end, and let's find out how many you're still doing. If it's more than 3, you are winning at life in ways most people never realize. If you see yourself in any of these quiet victories, feel free to share your first name and age in the comments, or simply type the number 9 if you're choosing to honor what your body and mind can still do starting today. Number 1. Walking 500 steps without stopping. Let me ask you something simple. Can you still walk 500 steps without needing to sit down, hold on to something, or catch your breath? That's about a quarter of a mile, perhaps from your driveway to the end of the block and back, or from the car, through the parking lot, and into the grocery store. It seems ordinary, doesn't it? But in reality, this simple walk may be one of the most powerful signs of how well you are aging. I know a man named Harold, 74, a retired postman from Ohio. Every morning, rain or shine, he walks to the same park bench with a newspaper under his arm and a small thermos of coffee. It's about 500 steps each way. He moves slower than he used to, of course, but he does it without stopping. No walker, no cane, no complaints. That isn't just a routine. It's a quiet triumph. Why does this matter? According to the American Heart Association, walking ability in older adults is one of the strongest predictors of long-term health, stronger, even, than your cholesterol numbers or blood pressure. A 500-step walk without rest signifies that your heart, lungs, legs, and nervous system are still working in harmony. It tells us your cardiovascular system is holding strong, your balance is intact, and your muscles still have endurance. But this ability doesn't last forever unless you protect it. Most people don't lose it overnight. It slips away subtly. You skip a walk, just this once. You start parking closer to the entrance. You take the elevator instead of the stairs. And then suddenly, 500 steps feels like 5,000. Muscles shrink, endurance fades, and independence begins to slip through your fingers. But here's the hopeful part. You can reclaim it. Even walking just 10 minutes a day can rebuild stamina, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation. The benefits extend beyond the body. A 2022 study from Columbia University showed that seniors who walked at least 400 meters daily, again about 500 steps, had better brain volume, slower cognitive decline, and lower rates of depression. Walking literally feeds the brain with oxygen and blood flow, improving memory, mood, and emotional regulation. So, if you are still walking those 500 steps without help, you're not just getting around. You are preserving your freedom. You are keeping your ability to go where you want, do what you need, and take care of yourself. And that is priceless. The next time you head to the mailbox, don't dismiss it as a chore. Every step is a message to your body. I am still here, I am still moving, and I still own this life. You don't need fancy gear or a punishing pace. You just need to walk with intention every day. And if you're already doing it, like Harold with his newspaper and coffee, take a moment to celebrate. That isn't just movement, it's mastery. And that, my friend, is the first quiet victory of aging well. Number 2. Remembering conversations, not just dates. Let me tell you a secret about memory. It's not just about remembering where you left your keys. It's about staying connected to the people and moments that make life rich. When you can still remember what someone said to you last week, their exact words, the way they laughed, or the feeling it gave you, that isn't just a good day. That is your brain staying sharp in the most meaningful way possible. This is called episodic memory. Your ability to recall not just facts, but full experiences. It's one of the first things to fade with age unless you actively use it. I know a woman named Carol, 71. Every Sunday she chats with her grandson on a video call. The following week she'll ask him, "So, how did your science project turn out?" That simple question proves something powerful. She was present, she listened, and she remembered. Studies from the Rotman Research Institute show that seniors who stay socially and emotionally engaged, especially those who remember the details of conversations, experience slower brain aging and less shrinkage of the hippocampus. You don't need brain games. You need real moments, real people, and the art of real listening. So if you can still recall not just what happened but how it made you feel, you are doing more than just remembering. You are keeping the core of you alive, and that is a quiet, powerful win. Number 3. Putting on your pants while standing. It sounds trivial, I know, but if you can still put your pants on while standing up, one leg at a time, without holding onto the wall, you are doing something that most people your age quietly struggle with: maintaining your balance. Let's break it down. That small, everyday act actually requires leg strength, core stability, coordination, and neurological control, all working together in perfect sync. It's not just physical, it's your brain and body communicating flawlessly. I once met a man named Wallace, 72. Every morning, he insisted on wearing slacks and a belt, never sweatpants. "If I can still put them on standing up," he told me, "then I know I've still got it." And he was right. A 2021 study from the University of Sao Paulo found that adults over 65 who could balance on one leg for just 10 seconds had a 47% lower risk of dying over the next 7 years compared to those who couldn't. Think about that. 10 seconds of balance can predict so much about your future health. Why? Because losing your balance isn't just about the risk of falling. It's often the first quiet signal that your nervous system, your inner ear, and your muscle control are beginning to decline. And when balance goes, independence often follows. The good news is that balance can be trained. You don't need a gym. Just simple moves like walking heel to toe across a room, standing on one leg while you brush your teeth, or practicing Tai Chi. So, tomorrow morning, when you're getting dressed, try this little test. If you can still stand tall, lift your knee and step through without a wobble. Smile. That's not just coordination. That's control. That's resilience. That's aging well. Number 4, laughing without holding back. There is something magical about a real laugh. Not a polite chuckle, not a forced smile. I mean the kind that starts in your belly, takes over your face, and makes the whole room feel lighter. If you can still laugh like that, unfiltered, eyes closed, breathless, then you have kept more than your sense of humor. You've kept your resilience. I remember Joan, 76. Sharp as a tack, with arthritis in both hands and her vision fading, but her laugh was still thunderous, still contagious. One time, during a routine appointment, she laughed so hard at something her grandson said that she nearly dropped her cane. She told me, "Life's been a mess some days, but if a squirrel slips off a fence or my dog chases his tail, I'll still lose it laughing." That isn't just personality. It's emotional strength. According to a 2023 meta-analysis from Kyoto University, seniors who laugh regularly have 34% lower levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, along with improved serotonin levels and better blood pressure regulation. Laughter lights up multiple areas of the brain, improving emotional regulation and delaying cognitive decline. A UCLA study even found that watching just 15 minutes of comedy daily, reduced memory complaints in older adults by 40% over 6 months. Laughter brings us back to the present moment. It reminds us that life is still strange, funny, and full of surprises. As we age, when loss and loneliness can creep in, laughter becomes a form of emotional immunity, a way to fight back without medicine. So, if you still find yourself cracking up at a silly memory or chuckling at your own mistakes, celebrate that. Your joy is intact. Your spirit is alive. And your laughter is proof that you are not just surviving. You are still truly living. Number 5. Keeping the threads of connection alive. Here is something most people don't realize until it's almost too late. Loneliness ages you faster than smoking. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that social isolation increases the risk of heart disease, dementia, depression, and even early death. But the opposite is also true. Staying socially connected, even in simple ways, is one of the strongest predictors of living a longer, fuller life. Take Leonard, 73. Every month, he sends handwritten birthday cards to 5 old friends from college. Some don't write back anymore, and a few have moved to care homes, but Leonard keeps going. "It's not about what I get back," he says. "It's about keeping the thread alive." That thread, it's everything. A decades-long Harvard study on adult development found that people with strong social relationships in their 70s were happier, sharper, and lived an average of 7.5 years longer. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. A short phone call, a text that says, "I was just thinking of you," showing up for a friend's art show, or a community lunch, these are not small things. They are lifelines, not just for them, but for you. When you reach out, your brain gets a boost of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It lifts your mood, lowers your stress, and even improves your immune system. And the beauty is, it's never too late. New friendships can form at 70, 80, even 90. All it takes is a little effort and the courage to say, "Hello, how have you been?" So, if you are still calling, texting, and checking in, keep doing it. That isn't just being social. That's strength. That's emotional fitness. And, in the long run, it may be the most powerful medicine you ever give or receive. Number 6. The ritual of cooking your own meals. It might not seem like much. Cracking an egg, chopping an onion, standing over a simmering pan. But if you are still cooking your own meals, even just once a day, you are doing something extraordinary. Because cooking isn't just about food. It's about independence, rhythm, memory, and the ability to care for yourself on your own terms. Meet Eileen. She's 75, widowed, and lives alone in a cozy apartment. Every evening, she sets a place at her small kitchen table, turns on soft jazz, and makes herself a real meal. Nothing fancy, sometimes just soup and toast, but it's hers. That simple act of preparing food lights up parts of the brain linked to coordination, sequencing, and creativity. It's a daily workout for your mind, your hands, and your senses. A 2022 study from the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health found that older adults who cooked most of their meals had better nutritional status, lower rates of depression, and greater physical function than those who relied on takeout or prepackaged food. And let's not forget, food is memory. The smell of garlic in a pan, the way you season a favorite dish just right. These are powerful connections to your identity, your culture, and your joy. So, if you are still standing at the stove, choosing your ingredients and plating your food with a little bit of pride, know that it is not just routine. It is resilience. It is dignity. And if you haven't cooked in a while, perhaps today is the day to try again. Start small. Make it yours. Because the ability to feed yourself, body and soul, is one of the clearest signs that you are still in the driver's seat of your own life. So let's take a moment to reflect. If you're still walking 500 steps, remembering real conversations, balancing while you get dressed, laughing from your belly, keeping in touch with loved ones, and cooking your own meals, then you are not just aging, you are thriving. These 6 quiet victories may not show up on a medical chart. No one gives you a medal for standing on one leg or remembering your grandson's joke. But make no mistake, these are the signs of real strength, of true resilience, and of a life still fully lived. They mean your mind is sharp, your body is responsive, and your spirit is very much alive. So take pride in what you are still able to do, and if you've lost a few of these abilities, that's all right, because the beautiful truth is, many of them can be regained. One step, one laugh, one meal at a time. Aging well isn't loud. It is quiet, steady, and intentional. And if you saw yourself in even one of these 6 signs today, don't just keep going, keep shining.